Join my park. We might play.
Now, for the purpose of me not being redundant, I recommend you check out my video on the Spurs being the NBA's model organization, and then you're going to understand a lot of what I'm about to say. So, in my opinion, not only are the Spurs a perfect fit for Chris Paul is the perfect fit for the Spurs. Here's a team constantly looking to upgrade its parts as they go, and that's pretty much how they've been able to contend in 3 different decades, going on to 4 now. Although they've seen the emergence of Kawhi Leonard into a superstar, and they currently hold the league's second best record, we all know the elephant in the room is that they likely won't be the favorites in the playoff series, and you can pretty much say that about any team right now. This isn't me saying they don't stand a chance, because they actually do, and that's one of the reasons Chris Paul needs this move. However, the Warriors have finally clicked into that all-star team we all thought they were going to be, and right now they've clearly got the advantage over anybody in the series. Thing is, the Warriors are young enough that they can hang on to the dominance in the West for quite some time. That is, unless the Spurs are able to make this move. Adding Chris Paul to the roster would give them a much-needed upgrade at the point guard position. Tony Parker right now is 34 years old, and it's not about to get any easier for him to keep up with the progression of the point guard position in the league today. With no guarantee on how long Parker is about to stick around, Paul would slide right in and be able to play at an all-star level for. This move would be almost identical to what they did with Tim Duncan. Right as Timmy was in the twilight of his career, they went ahead and signed LaMarcus Aldridge as their new big man, and the transition went smoothly. Transitioning from Parker to Paul would be pretty much the same exact thing. What you get in Paul is the perfect Popovich player who would need no time to learn how to fit in. He's a two-way player, meaning he's going to bolster the offense and the defense, and he's one of the few true point guards left who can pass as well as he can score, so adding him wouldn't interfere with the progression of Kawhi Leonard. On top of that, many offenses would struggle having to deal with the defensive prowess of in the same night. This is all on top of Paul being one of the fiercest competitors the NBA has left to offer. Maybe he hasn't won much in his career, but that doesn't change the fact that all the guy cares about is winning, and he's going to give you everything he's got at all times. But let's take a look at what we can actually measure. Paul is a far better three-point shooter than the Spurs have had at the starting point guard position, currently shooting 40% from that range, which would be incredibly important in spreading the floor in an offense that already runs pretty beautifully. And just in general, we all know how important the three-point shot is in today's era. We also know he's got supreme court vision. Back in his New Orleans days, he was averaging 11 assists per game without a great offensive threat. So imagine what he'd do with guys like Kawhi and Aldridge as options. In general, we all pretty much know what CP3 would bring to the Spurs. He's one of the greatest point guards of all time. But what about what the Spurs would bring to him? Well, in short, the Spurs would almost certainly be able to help Paul get this ugly stain off his career. The stain that says he's never won anything, he's never won a championship, actually that he hasn't even gotten close to winning a championship. For any player in search of a winning situation, Spurs have proven they can provide it. Even in their worst years, they're still winning a minimum of 50 games, and they're being tossed in the conversation of contenders all the time. Not only that, but they're always going to do what's right for the roster in terms of making sure there's no downtime, so there's not going to be any wasted years of his career, which is especially important as he climbs further into his 30s. On top of all of that, they've got what many to believe to be the greatest coach of all time. Popovich is really as real as they come. He's proven his system can get the best out of whoever they decide to throw on the roster, and he's probably not going anywhere unless he decides to retire. This, again, is the type of stability Paul needs as he winds down his career. But aside from the Spurs being the best option in free agency for Paul, quite honestly, they're the only option when you think about it. If Chris Paul truly wants a ring, where else realistically is he going to go that's going to give him a chance to beat the Warriors? Let's go ahead and take a look. I mean, he's got a great friend in Dwayne Wade, but not even the addition of Chris Paul would get them past Cleveland. They still need more shooters. New York, I mean, come on now. I know he loves Melo and all. They're good friends too, but who in their right mind is about to sign on to what's going on in the You could put Chris Paul on any team in the West other than the Spurs, and I guarantee you they still wouldn't beat the Warriors. Of course, to the Spurs, even with what they got now, they still have a chance to be
Yeah,
in the
same.
series, which is more than most teams can say right now. Chris Paul would truly be the final piece of the puzzle here, as most championship teams this decade have had 3 main guys on the roster to get it done, and I imagine Paul, Kawhi, and then LaMarcus Aldridge would give almost anybody some trouble. In my humble opinion, we're wondering, in the event that Paul does want to sign with the Spurs, they are able to clear enough
Streaming on YouTube.
so there's something that
Yeah, don't do that or your junk is gonna load slower. You really know your phone.